Hey kids, it's your dad. Trying something a little new today. I have been curious my last few times playing through what this language in the Tunic manual is, and I figured I don't know, take a crack at transliterating, whatever makes the most sense here. So, what I've done so far is taken a whole mess of screenshots of everything that I could find that has language. So all the manual pages I found so far, signs, notifications, labels for areas, and what I'm going to try and do is figure out what the heck all this stuff is saying. In doing this, I've kind of, as I've been copying this over, it obviously took a little bit of time going through the old videos, like they're more than a couple days old, and figuring out high level what I think is going on here. Obviously, I'm assuming that this can be translated. I think there's some level of consistency in the language that I'm going to call, I don't know, Tunic. Very descriptive name. That I think it can be translated. It's not like the visual Nomai language in Outer Wilds, which I think is not translatable directly from visual to actual words. I think they're kind of static images that are used over and over again. So I want to... Here's kind of what I figured out so far. And I'm realizing as this is just going to be a video of me talking and probably thinking silently, I may I may bring in some music, something to just kind of keep things going as I go. But so, rule number one, I think each solid middle line is probably a word. So there are all of these groupings of characters, of symbols, and the one thing that is common in all of them is this middle line. And what I'm thinking is each grouping of symbols that are joined by this middle line, like this is a word, and this is a separate word. So that's one assumption I'm working on. The top shapes and the bottom shapes seem unique. Let me go to a more comprehensive thing. That's ugly. Let's just zoom in here. So I'm seeing a lot of shapes that are kind of common in the top row, and shapes that seem kind of common in the bottom row. There may be some overlap, but it seems like top shapes usually only appear on the top, bottom shapes usually only appear on the bottom. So for example, this shape here where it's like a diamond with a line on the left and a line on the bottom, I haven't seen that same shape the exact same way on the bottom before. Sometimes I see them inverted, and I wonder if that's significant. This right here seems similar, but like this line is touching the line, this line is not. This arrow is a little bit shorter than this arrow, so I think there's differences there. Let's see, let's go back here. Oh yeah, the top shapes usually touch the middle line, the bottom shapes usually don't. Actually, I don't know if I have an instance of a bottom shape touching a line, but many of the top shapes do. Not sure what that means. Longer words are longer. Again, that's my assumption. If it's like longer, I don't know if it's so what I don't yet know is this a symbolic language? Is it kanji or is it romaji, right? Like, is it a symbolic language or is it based on phonetics? I don't know. My assumption is phonetics, if it's supposed to translate into something that I understand, and the fact that there are much longer words in this language. I thought this was interesting. Shapes seem to be roughly based on the wireframe of a cube. I don't know if this actually makes sense, but like if I look at this word right here in the middle top here, this looks like the top of a cube, this looks like the bottom of a cube. If I put them together, it looks like most of a cube. And all of these lines seem to be kind of based on that 3D wireframe shape of a cube with some sort of alterations. specific alterations I'm seeing are these circles. They use commas and periods, just like English, which I find interesting. And numbers are numbers. Unless this is something where you do see English words interspersed in here, and I do wonder why that is. Again, going back to something I said, I think in my last, or maybe the second video, that this game in its entirety sort of feels like I'm playing a game that was like the manual was written in Japanese or something, and in much of the Japanese media that I've consumed, there are English words scattered as they've they've taken loan words into their own language, or they are doing something that's based in another language, whether it's English or not. So I don't know. So for example, like here lies the hero. This is a marker on the hero's grave. This doesn't seem to say here lies the hero because there's too many words, but I assume that the message below is somewhat related, but not the same. Otherwise, there would be some sort of similarity in length or the spacing. And then the last piece is long shapes that connect are still separate shapes. What does that mean? So, here we go. In this sign to find the town, each section of a word seems to be about an equal length. So I think this is a short word, and it has sort of like a length of 1. This has a length of 2, but these bottom parts connect. I don't know if that's significant. I don't believe it is. I think it may be coincidental, but it also might not be. So I'm going to try and keep that in mind, but that this does somehow represent, like, this is 2 separate things up here. This is 3 separate things up here. This would then be 3 separate things. So that's kind of my starting point. I have noticed a few things, but I wanted to start. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know how this is going to go. This is kind of the assumptions I'm working on. I've taken note of a couple of things already. And actually, I'm going to open, for the first time ever, use the hierarchy in this tool. You can sort of group images or words underneath like parent objects and sort of move them as one. It's also a way for me to organize the information a little bit. So this is the message when you find the first key in the game, and this is the message when you use the key in the first in the first door. And so I'm seeing a similarity here in this second character. The first character is actually the same symbol that you see when you find anything that you're picking up, and so it seems to be something related to like pick up key or take key, something to that effect, right? I also saw the symbol in the manual. Let's jump over there. Where did I see that symbol in the manual? Is a good question. Keys, I think. See, and here it's in English, and I wonder why sometimes are some words never in English, or are some words sometimes in English and sometimes not. I feel like where did I see? Was it on a map? Maybe I'm losing my mind. Oh wait, no, it was something I had dropped a couple phrases. Oh, here we go. Is this it? No. There was a phrase where there were a couple of different items and it was telling you needed a key to open a locked door. Let's see if I can't find. Here we go. Yeah. So this is page 10 of the manual. There's a lot of text here. So what I'm trying to do is find symbols that relate to things that I recognize. So for example, this seems to be a sentence, as in like, you need a lantern, you need a key. So this is the same symbol that I saw for key. And actually, while I'm doing that, what I want to start doing is recording symbols where I think I know their meaning. So this looks a lot like key, as far as I can tell. And so I don't have a section for that. So let's drop this here, make it a little bit bigger, and bring this over here, drop it down. We're gonna call this known. I'm gonna put that in quotes because I don't know if I actually know it. Known symbols. All right, and then, oh, hello. Let's title this key. Drop it under known symbols. And then the last thing I'm going to do is actually write the word out. And I want to group this under the key symbol. Okay, so that's helpful. All right, so let's kind of go through this. Where was it? It was page 10, right? So what I'm thinking, two things that I have thought to do is to look for symbols that you see over and over again. Short symbols that you see over and over again are usually going to be very common words, like the, I think is the most common word, or a is a very common word. This is a symbol I've seen line, almost looks like a little house. So it's like a line with a roof. That is one of these common symbols. I don't know what it means. I think it's either or the. So I see it before what looks like nouns to me. This is some sort of, again, light or lantern. This is key. So something, a key, or something, the key. I wish I had read this before I went into the dark tomb, but here we go. I also don't know exactly what I'm going to get out of this. I don't know what's written in this stuff. I don't know if there's actual information in the manual beyond, is this flavor, or could it actually potentially be helpful? I'm going to group this over here as... Let's see, these are not known symbols. These are, let's delete that. Prime suspects. So these are symbols that I think maybe I know their, oh, hello, that maybe I know their meaning. So key goes under, actually this, see, common word. Don't know what that is. So let's drop that under prime suspects. Let's drop this word here. And this is going to be a or the. There's one other that I think, actually, I'm going to reverse this. Let's bring this up here and put this under here, because I think I have another candidate for the same, and it's the two arrows right here. That I see this also at the beginning of sentences, and very frequently, such that it may be the same sort of symbol. Again, the big assumption I'm going on is that this somehow translates to English. But we'll see. Okay. Wait, this is a common word. All right, drop this here as well. All right, so two words that might mean a or the. Oh, let's see. The other thing I was doing was kind of grouping like things together. So menus are interesting because this is sort of outside the context of like the world of the game, but more in context of video games in general. So for example, this has to mean something like pause menu or main menu or game paused, something to that effect. I don't know enough to know what that, like, I'm not there yet, but so I have these area labels. These are the things that show up every time you enter an area. Again, what I'm guessing is they're not giving us one-to-one translations here. That this, what I find interesting though is West Bell Tower and East Bell Tower, like this is some phrase describing the area that you're going into. That this phrase here in Tunic and this phrase here are the same except for one character here, or one word. I don't know, again, I don't know what any of this means yet, but I think this word must be important. I don't know if this is west and east. I would think if this were a phonetic alphabet, these words would be very similar, at least at the end. And I don't see a lot of similarities. I mean, there's this here, and like this sort of like this, like here. Yeah, I don't know. But then this one sticks out, and this one sticks out. Actually, they all kind of stick out because they're all the same. I've seen this elsewhere. I remember this symbol because it showed up somewhere that I thought was interesting and helpful. I think under the signs. Right. Yeah, here we go. This shows up, and I labeled all these on the left here because I knew I would forget where I saw them. This I found at the Eastern Bell Tower, and I think it says something like that. Something like, to ring the bell, you strike the bell, or something. Like, these are very similar. To me, these look like words that rhyme. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, the bottom is identical, the top is very similar. It's just one line. Instead of going this way, it goes up. And then these are the same, and this is the same word that I saw in Bell Tower. Actually, I'll scooch it over there for now, just so I can make sure I know what the heck I'm talking about. So, yeah, right there. So, this is, to me, probably means bell. So, let's go ahead and screenshot that. I'm going to drop it into known symbols. Interesting. Sorry, what I'm noticing right away is that the bottom left here and here are identical. So, well, I don't know what that means. Unless that's not bell. P? Bell? I don't know. Oh, wait. Well, that's E. It's not Beal. And it's not Y. I'm trying to figure out, like, do I read these... Let's go back to a longer word. Do I read these across? Top and then bottom? Or do I read them left to right, right to left, top to bottom, bottom to top? I don't know. My instinct is, because we have words that are short and there's a top and a bottom to those, that it's probably something like top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, or bottom to top, bottom to top, bottom to top. So, yeah, well, I have known in quotation marks here for a reason. So I think this is the word bell, or, yeah, I think that's the word bell. And let's, I think this is 2. Like, here's a sign that makes sense. You go to the bell, and it's like, hey, what am I supposed to do here? Well, and part of this is based on the idea of these rhyming, which is like, to ring the bell, you strike the bell. That's a coherent sentence that is like an instruction that I would find in the world. So, oops, let me take another quick photo of this. All right, just double checking that it's actually recording what I'm doing and I'm not just shouting into the void. Here we go. So I think this is, but I find it interesting that the verb ring is not, is in English. This is to, and yeah, ring and strike are in English here, and I wonder why. Are these just hints? You know, if I'm going back on my like Outer Wilds or Obra perspective on games, that like everything is in here for a reason. And so these rhyme. I feel like these have to rhyme. They look like they rhyme, don't they? Is that like every word in this manual is either English or, I want to call it Tunisian, but that's very not right. Is in the Tunic language, or English for a very specific reason. Oh, I need to, let's see. So I need to label this stuff so I don't forget. This is Bell, not Bill. Who's Bill? We'll drop the number known symbols. It said known symbols. Okay, it did that. All right. Oh, prime suspects should actually be its own parent. That makes more sense. And we'll drop the bell under bell. This is 2. 2. And I'll say my one takeaway from Obra that I'm using here is to just move forward with confidence, and then I'll figure out if I'm wrong later. I don't actually know that this stuff means this, but I'm not going to get anywhere if I wait for like, you know, some sort of like perfect confirmation. So what are these photos that I have not labeled, or these images that I haven't labeled yet? What are we doing here? Oh, these are this is something I did with I realized I thought these were just cool symbols. This seems to be a series of words. I'm guessing that there are breaks, or it's one long word. I don't know, but like this on the right seems to be one long word. But again, I don't know, so I guess we'll find out. I don't know if it's just stylized differently because it's the menu, and it would be a little weird to have these breaks in the menu, but maybe it's one really long word. Smorgasbord. Why not? Let's see. Was there anything else? Oh, I did think this is like something I didn't catch in. I think I'm done with episode 4 right now. I didn't catch is that there are multiple heroes' graves, which I find fascinating because it specifically labels it the hero, not a hero. It gives a little credence to the like Legend of Zelda repeating time thing. I mean, the real credence is, again, the same battle fought uncountable times, with a picture of me, what looks like me in my like Link tunic. The idea of heir to the heir. You know, heir is someone who inherits something. So someone who inherits the title to inherit something is this, you know, somebody who's been reborn as a savior that is waiting to inherit the title. I don't know. Let's see. What other things did I note? So this, I'm guessing, this is, you know, this top label in English, this top label in Tunic. Is this something like controls? I don't know, possibly. Or controller, or I don't know. Anyway, moving on. This is like switch targets. This is like walk or move. It has to be. I love that it's pointing towards an Xbox controller and it has my keyboard keys on it. Before the next time I play, I'm going to get a controller because I'm feeling like I'm handicapping myself a bit with using a keyboard. This is like block or use a shield. This is potion? Don't know. Use weapon. These I thought were interesting. These are things you can do with the what I would consider normally the jump button. And I think it's something like roll, sprint, and pray. Mostly because those are the things that I know how to do with that button. But also, these are the three symbols that show up here. So this shows me... Oh, wait. That is me reading a sign. So actually, it's actually something like use, read. But this depicts the character rolling. So I'm guessing this is roll or dodge. This shows me sprinting. So this says, is this press or push? It's pointing at the button that I'm supposed to press. And again, assuming that this is a controller, you would normally press those buttons or push those, well, press the X button, push the X button. I'm trying to figure out like what's the more common word. I don't know that it matters, but actually I'm gonna record. So I think this is roll. Click. Only because it's something I've done so many times. So oh, and I'm seeing something. Hold on. The second half of this word is the same as the second half of bell, which is a double L. Let's go with that assumption. So this is the symbol for roll. Let's drop that here, bring this down here, and now we have another known symbol. I know, again, it's kind of, I don't know, it doesn't rhyme in English, but the symbol rhymes, if that makes sense. There's a lot of similarities here. Okay, that was interesting. Where is that page? Here it is. And so that's the other thing, is this is slightly longer word. Wait, so press and hold. I think press is it. I think this is... Let's just drop it in here. This is a bit of a longer word, so we're going to put it on a new line. This is press, push. And because I don't know, I'm actually going to move it under prime suspects. So we did this slightly backwards last time. And then this goes under press or push. This seems to be 3 long. So this is 1 length. 1 length. Again, I don't know that the length seems, judging by the fact that these are 2 short words used frequently, a and the, again, I'm guessing bell and roll are a little bit longer. They have the same number of syllables, but more letters. So I'm wondering if these are letters. Press and push. Oh, that is very, very blurry. That's fine. But this one seems to be 3. Like there's 1, 2, 3. All right. Where were we again? We're here. No. We weren't here, we were on. So this is sprint or run. Now I can't remember if the main if the main mechanic in this game when you move, are you moving at a slow walk? I know it feels slow, but like animation wise, again, I don't know if it matters, but this would be sprint or run. Oops, don't need that. This is under prime suspects, good. This image needs to go there, and this is 2. I don't know what to call this. I don't think there's syllables. Let's change long is a weird word, so let's change this to length. Okay, back to the controller. Oh, there were notices. I don't know, I just sounded like a gorilla. So what I found was interesting. So I thought this was like, you found a stick. But this last character, actually the whole phrase is identical for what I would consider like common items. Actually, not even common items, but like for the little cards you find, for some of the upgrade items, and the actual weapons you use. It's all the same symbol, but for certain items it's different. For the shield, this is a whole different phrase. This looks like the same character here. That looks like A or the, and then there's this symbol that I've seen a few times. I thought it was light when I first saw this, but it's also here for this magical, for the ice dagger, I believe it is, or ice pendant. So that seems to indicate some sort of like unique or like magical item. And then this is like, is this potion or something similar? But the one word that's in almost all of these is this. So my assumption is this is something like found. Like, wait, is this the U that I saw before? Oh god, I wish I had the characters like with me. Yes. Hold on, I'm gonna drag this up here just to triple check. So this would be something like, yeah, you found a potion, or the potion. Hell yeah. Alright, this is this is actually making some minor progress here. It's not fast, but I'm gonna say it's faster than I expected it to be. I was worried I was just gonna be sitting here rambling to myself and like frustrated. I still don't have an idea. What I'm trying to do is find a grouping of words that I can translate to then go back and see similarities between things like length and sounds, and this was found. I feel good about that. Like, it's in every time you find something, this word is there. So we're gonna call this, come on, found. That goes under known symbols. This goes under here. Perfect. Found. So you found, and that gives a little credence to this being A instead of the, only because you can find multiple potions. You can find multiple, this is like magic item. You found a magic item, but that's way too long. That's, I'm gonna, I don't know what that means. But anyway, so actually I'm gonna move I'm going to say this is actually the word A. Or A. So we're going to call this A. Right? We're going to move this up to known symbols. Give this its signature quotation marks. And a label. A. Okay. And then I can move... Again, I'm going to put this in its own sort of like category of shorty words. And I don't know if this is actually but it feels like it is. So let's move the to known symbols. It brings the length along with it, which I don't love. We're going to change this to the, and then drop that there like that. So the nice thing is with the grouping, with the parenting in PureRef, this is not an advertisement for the PureRef tool that I've been using, but it is a really great tool for this, is you can grab parent objects and it brings child objects with you, so it makes for really easy, oh, I didn't parent it correctly. It makes for really easy organization sometimes, unless you move the wrong thing the wrong way. It got to be kind of a pain in the butt with reorganizing the manual pages, because I wanted to move the manual pages thing and it moves them all. So I don't know if there's an easier way to do this, but then I had to like move all the manual pages. Yeah, it got a little weird. Doesn't matter. Moving on. Okay, going back. I saw a word that I want to see. Actually, I think this is the word for shield. Like a shield, holy shit. Something like that. I don't think that's what the second one is, but like this is the sentence, kind of like a shield, or and I wanted to see if that is repeated anywhere. There was a blocking menu item here. Is that similar to here? Oop, right there. Ooh. Okay. Interesting. Is it anywhere else? Is there anywhere else that references the shield? There is an items page. Drag this over this way. Drag it over here. I don't see it here, but maybe that's okay because the word shield is in English. And now I've lost. There it is. It's hiding. Come out from underneath. That's one thing I don't love, is it's hard to grab. If you drop something behind another object, it's sometimes really hard to find again, especially if you don't know that you did it. There's a lot of words here. Okay, but so I actually think I feel good about this being shield, especially since I'm pretty sure that's exactly what I said when I found it. Was like a shield. Holy shit. Maybe not the holy shit part, but definitely the shield part. So let's make this bigger so I can see it. Bring it down here. I think this is, I'm going to call this a known word. It's one syllable, but many letters. So we'll drop this in the one syllable, many letter category. I don't know if it's the actual category, but shields. Bring this up to known symbols. Let's give it a label. That's weirdly small. And drop this under shields. Okay. Sorry, I'm just kind of looking to see. I don't have a lot of similar sounds. Bell. Key. Is this the letter E? I don't have it. Okay, I need more. I need more information. More information. Sorry, I'm looking at this as press. Is there an eh sound that I'm not seeing? No. Okay, moving on. Is there anything else that I could pull out of this? Oh, to ring a bell, strike a bell. You strike a bell. I guess it's the same. It felt like the or the in that context, but when I see it with the items, it makes less sense. So a shield. Holy shit. That's you found a potion? Alright, let me this is gonna go under suspects because I don't know what that actually means, but I understand what it's communicating, if that makes sense. Oh, this ends with these two characters on the top. I wonder what that means. Oops. So this is... Alright, how do we organize this? Okay, this is... Wow. 1, 2, 3, 5, I think it's 4 length. 4 length. And we've got this as prime suspects. Okay, so let's drop this under here. Great. No. Sorry, this is not the right words. This was... Ocean? Yeah, I don't know. This feels like these two words are too short. Although shield is also 3 long, and that is one word with a lot of different sounds in it. Shield. 4 sounds, 4 separate sounds. 1 syllable, 4 sounds. Key, bell, 1 syllable, 1 sound, 2 sounds. Key, e, e, b, 3. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. That seems... There you go. And this is and the. So this actually only has 1 sound, and it only has 1 symbol. It's 2. Okay. I think I'm getting something here. Oh god, I feel like that's significant. I just got real excited about translating a language for a game. I feel like I'm supposed to be, in my real life, embarrassed about that, but I actually really am not at all. This is super cool. Ooh. This is 1 symbol. So, if this is key... Oh, this was the magic wand. So that actually has a different symbol than... Did I... Oh, I need to go back. I'm gonna make a note. Stuff to remember. I'm gonna call this follow-ups. This is kind of my parking lot of ideas of stuff that I'm not gonna get to right now, but I wanna... what I wanna see is... prompt to pick up... What was it? It was the lantern / ice knife. Ice knife. So I want to screenshot that. I also want to screenshot, see if there's a sort of like splash image for getting the magic wand. I'm not convinced I got all of the screenshots that I needed for this. Let's put this under follow-ups, and this should actually go under rules. This should go under follow-ups. I say under follow-ups. There we go. Okay, so where was I? What prompted that? Oh, that I think this is the symbol for like take or pick up or get. Again, I don't know enough. I think I need a little more info to decide which of that it is. I would say this is probably something like take. I keep copying things I don't mean to copy because I don't know. I'm thinking this organizational system is not helping me over here under prime suspects, but I also don't want to assume things. So let's go. This one is actually, call it to length. And I'm wondering now, is length even the right measurement here? Because these are technically both length of 1, but they are different. I think this is like 1 syllable, 2 sounds. 1 syllable, 1 sound. 1 syllable, 3 sounds, but why are there 4? There's quadrants here. And I think that's 5. And this seems to be kind of in the middle. If I'm spacing this out right, this is 3. It's like 1, 2, 3, or something. And this is shield. That's 4. Shield. And this has, what's 4 syllables, but it has 6 areas. Interesting. Okay. More to think of. This might be a D because it's at the end of shield and found. Do I see it anywhere else? It's here. Maybe not. This is sprint or run. What could be a word for what's happening in this picture that ends in D? So if this is roll, that ends in L. Press and hold. And then this is that same magic item symbol. Let's snapshot that, and then it tells us to go to page 24, which I think is the list of items. But why is that on the jump page? Is there something you can do with certain items when you press the jump button? What actually does 24 tell me? Oh, this is praying. Oh, is that... That doesn't make sense for that to be the word pray. Only because it's also the symbol for... Where are we? It's the same symbol, right? No, it's not! It's different. Ooh. It's like... Oh, like the slope of... It's like this part is opposite, but then the second half is exactly the same. It's this... Actually, it's almost all the same, except for the top left quadrant. It's sloping the other way. And is that... Okay. I can stand here and think about this forever and not have a better answer. So let's drop this into prime suspects. I think this is something like... Prey? Question mark means I have no idea. It means I have like a little bit of an idea. This is 2 length. And it goes under prey. Okay. Also, there's another one. Looks very similar. This is this. Okay. Thank you, snipping tool. You are my hero. This is also 2 length. This goes under prey, question mark? No, but it's not prey. I think this is like item. That doesn't make sense because, again, these look like they rhyme symbol-wise. And if they do, and this is prey and this is item, then my whole idea of these things representing sounds is totally off. And I'm not ready to abandon that quite yet. Okay. Now let's see. So I'm starting to recognize symbols. Not many, but like this is, where was this? Oh, I took a teleporter to what looked like the bottom of a well, somewhere I couldn't actually go. This looks like it says to the something. But it doesn't say well because, well, I guess I don't know if this says well up here, but one thing that is sticking out to me are these lines. They seem different than every other symbol. They are technically part of a cube, so... Like, is that a D? Guardhouse 1. Something. D. God, I need to do a lot more work to figure out. Oh, but this is the same word here and here. But I don't have an idea. This is again to the... Is that to? Yeah. To the hero's grave. Is this an apostrophe? Does this actually say hero's grave? What does the circle mean? Does this actually, hold on, does this actually say the hero's grave right here? The... What is this sound? Do I see that shape? I feel like I've seen that shape on a key. Yeah. But it's not on shield. It looks like it's on roll. That can't be right. Is it over here? P. Nope. Nope. It's not that. Interesting. So does that actually say the hero's grave? That would be the first of these that I would believe D. It would be the first one that I think I've seen that actually would replicate the words above. The hero's grave. The grave of a hero. I don't know. But path to the hero's grave? But that's path. Here's also on the signs. So looking at signs, I actually think, oh, so this is to something to West Garden. What is this? This is to something to town, something to it's just like the way something to West Garden. In which case, to is the beginning of an infinitive, but I feel like to ring is a different phrase than to town. You get a different meaning of the word to. Is it? Oh, it's been so long since I've taken an English course. And so this, whatever the heck this weather vane looking thing is, it's like a bunch of short words. And all of these are the same. All of these are the same. This and this are the same. That and that are the same. And then this... What? Is a poem? Hold on. Do any of these symbols match anything that I know? I'm gonna drag this down here. Like any parts of words that I know. This matches key. The top part of key. Anything else? No. Not at all. Although... No. These match each other. Alright, put that back where it was. I said put it back where it was. Alright, let's look at signs. 3. See, I don't know what these are actually called. I'm supposed to... Well, hold on. Hold on. There's a whole page about these in the manual, right? Uh-huh. Well, that's not helpful, is it? Thought I found something else that was more descriptive of those gems. But... oh, here we go. Most of this isn't in English. Except for that right there. Do I recognize any... this? Does that match the magic item symbol? not quite. Right? Where are we? Oh, but it matches the prey symbol, I think. Let's drag this up. What could possibly go wrong? Zoom in, move it up, move it up. I wish I could take all my known symbols with me, if that makes sense, in the view. That would be cool, like a split screen. Yeah, that starts similar. But it ends very differently. So, not helpful after all. Down you go. Back. Go back. Oh, wait. Go back. Oh. Control Z, you're my best friend. In fact, you go back home as well. There you go. So, this is about 3 gems. But I don't know what they're actually called gems. That's what I was trying to figure out over here. This is a room. I recognize this room. I found this room, and it told me that to insert the different colored gems there. That's actually what that thing with the red gem. It's like insert the red gem in here or something. To insert 6. This is like 10 long, so I don't think that that's it. Or let's see, it's 1, 2. Looks like it's like 5 or 6 long times 2. Okay. What was this? This was empty mailbox. Like it's empty or nothing. I want to keep an eye on these circles because I do wonder if that's like... But why would that be an apostrophe? Because all other punctuation is spelled out specifically. But I guess apostrophes can be in the middle of a word, which is different. Alright, well, here we are. I think we made some progress. We've got some known symbols. We've got some... I know what they mean, but I don't know the exact word yet. And the idea is... Longer words are longer. Number of symbol called shapes based on the number of sounds in the word. I think that's a big deal. And it makes sense why longer words are longer. I don't know if they... Is this letters? Sounds. Not sure. Anyway, let me know if this is interesting at all to you. This is fascinating to me, but I also know that often things that are interesting to me don't translate to being interesting to other people. So, you know, I will keep doing this regardless in terms of like trying to translate this stuff. But let me know if the process is interesting. Don't give me any hints or spoilers because I want to do this on my own. If I'm way off, I'll figure it out. Meaning I'll get stuck and frustrated and stop making these videos. But let me know if you think the process is interesting, and I'll keep doing this. Otherwise, like I said, I'll keep doing it anyway. But I will just do it in the privacy of my own home instead of out in public. Thanks for watching, if you indeed watched. See you guys later. Love you. Bye.